Nah.
Does your asshole itch?
No. Okay.
Welcome to the I Regret Nothing podcast.
I Regret Nothing podcast.
Sweet.
With Mike J and Pedro.
Hey guys, what about me?
I regret nothing.
I regret nothing.
Hey, dickheads, you forgot about me, Matt Baguette.
We regret nothing.
I regret everything. Everything I've ever done. Look at us. Look at the four of us. It's been like a month and a half, boys. It's been a while.
It's been a long time.
We haven't been doing these lately. We are lazy. Maybe we're busy. Is the word busy? Are we busy?
Yeah, no. We're busy. I mean, we released an update. I don't think we can call ourselves lazy for now.
True.
For a few months.
Did the update fix everything that's ever been wrong with Postal 4? Is the game actually good now?
100%.
I see those posts on Reddit, and it's like, is Postal 4 good now?
It's,
and
saved it.
And I'm like, is it good or is it woke?
Both.
Woke still.
Yeah.
When are they putting terrorists back in?
We're so
It's still
fucking woke, bro.
So
Pedro,
woke.
I see a woke comment about us every day.
Every day. I see it every hour.
We've gone woke.
We've gone woke.
Yeah.
Very woke.
You know, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Stop using that word like it's the word the. Just stop.
I mean, what's funny is we got, people thinking that the company is one thing, and we get called everything. We get called either right-winger grifters or liberal leftists. And I'm
don't
like, dude,
forget asset flippers.
Yep.
I mean, if we are able to keep our games as apolitical or making fun of both sides the same way, then, I mean, why are we bitching about it?
Yeah.
I've never done a single 3D model for this company. They were all AI generated and purchased.
Well, no, yeah, we bought
All of
them.
it.
We bought them on the marketplace, and then Matt put his finishing touches on them, and by that I mean he did nothing to them.
Yeah. I spent 5 minutes on them.
Yeah.
Someone in the comments are telling me, Lord says, excellent job on the explosions.
I love explosions.
And fixing the piss.
Well,
by
at
the way.
least Carl's one
Yeah.
fan is in the chat, guys. They're here.
I do wonder how many actual just Commander Carl fans are here. People who didn't know I was associated with Postal before.
Hopefully at least 6. Because it's keeping us in business.
Commander Carl went Postal a long time ago.
Someone also asked, PS5 is going to get an update. Yeah, but it's not currently happening. We have to hit a stopping point before
They're
we
waiting
have
for more PC stuff.
Yeah, it's. Let me put it to you this way: we don't do console porting or development, so we hand it off to a team that is in Ukraine, and it is very, very expensive. Every single patch costs us a lot of money, and if we keep handing them work while we are actively working on it at the pace we are working on it, it will be highly outdated by the time they're done with it, and we will have spent a shitload of money getting that out. If we had endless funds, that wouldn't be a problem. We don't have endless funds because we have to pay for asset flipping, and that's very expensive. So, yeah.
I partially fund a lot of these update efforts by standing nude on the corner of my local grocery store.
Yeah, usually he just gets arrested, and then we have to actually pay his bond to get him out, which it seems like we wouldn't be making any money on that deal. Somehow we still do.
The bond would be worthless.
First of all, thanks to everybody who said hi to us in the chat.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you all for being here. Anybody who's watching this live, you're stupid, and thank you.
By the way, somebody's asking,
watching
can I
live right now.
cosplay? Can I cosplay as Dude and go around to sign the Stop Killing Games in Europe petition? yes, you should, and we support it 100%. Go for
Yeah.
it.
Also, someone asked about co-op. Obviously, that was at the top of my list of things to like briefly discuss here. It's still in development. That's really what we're spending all of our money on right now. Yeah, we have people doing more set dressing and bug fixing and mission tweaking and pickup tweaking and all that fun shit. But co-op really is the focus, and it's coming out soon. Well,
Yeah.
it's going to come out in beta soon. Maybe the dumbest thing we ever promised was co-op.
Yeah.
I think so.
But hey, we promised.
But
we're
hey,
gonna give
we
it to you.
regret nothing except promising
Exactly.
co-op.
Exactly. And
We know the value of it. We love co-op games, and we want people to be able to play together, which is
Yeah.
why we do that. But I've said this at length before, but making an open world game, stupid. Very stupid, especially for a small indie team. We keep doing it. Very stupid. Making co-op for an open world game by an indie team that's small is exponentially stupider.
Very stupid.
Yeah,
Big
it's
mistake.
just I don't know if our fans are familiar with the game Whack-A-Mole, but that's what making an
Whack-A-Mole?
open world game is when, well, in general, period. It's just
No, I know. I was
yeah,
just fucking around.
just general game development is Whack-A-Mole of bugs. Open world game development is worse bug Whack-A-Mole, and I think making an open world game on Unreal makes bug Whack-A-Mole even worse.
Very true.
Stack co-op on top of that, and like we're all on fucking suicide watch, okay? But
Yeah.
it's gonna come out on PC. That's
Yeah, I
all.
got-
That's all I'll say. We keep getting questions about PS5 co-op. I don't know. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know if we can commit to that.
But I gotta say, with the first version of co-op we had internally, and with all the issues that it had internally still, the first version was already very fun. So you can only imagine just how much of how it will be worth to wait when it's actually out, even in beta. Okay, but this is not an easy task, like Mike just said. It takes time. It sucks that it's taking this long, of course, but it will get to you. We promise, and we don't break our promises. We might make games that you don't really like, especially nowadays. But I mean, if we promise you something, we're gonna give it to you. If we promise we are polishing, even if it's not polished.
Every
Yeah,
time we just promise on release dates that we cannot like achieve, but that's what big AAA studios do as well. Like game takes
Well, we
time to
don't
make,
really
so.
give release dates, so
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
we
one
give
thing.
release
Because if we
I
did-
think
windows.
the only issue we like the problem with is that it's putting that co-op in the main menu in 2019.
Yeah,
Big
if we
mistake.
if we did give release dates, we would have to really nail them. Otherwise, people would get mad. That's why we don't give release dates. Okay, that's
No.
every time people ask us, "Hey, so when is co-op?" I'm like, I don't know. I would like to tell
Yeah,
you.
and even in the best of cases, I don't know if you guys have played Outlaws much. I mean, yeah, the game's not Red Dead 2, okay? But it is a beautiful, big, open world. And I just see people shitting on it left and right, saying it's not an open world. You can't do anything with anyone. And I'm like, oh my God. People
Yeah.
are fucking stupid. And yeah, AAA
Also,
studio, couple
don't-
$100 million.
Also, if you
Don't get me
compare your game to literally Rockstar games, who are like the king of open worlds, like
Yeah. Yeah.
Rockstar does that. But if you look under Rockstar, like Ubisoft and games, or like Days Gone or Ghost of Tsushima, they are not. None of those games are up to like a Red Dead or a GTA 5.
No, and I mean, it's on Watch Dogs level, right? Like Outlaws
Yeah,
is fucking
yeah, yeah.
Watch Dogs in Star Wars. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You also
Yeah.
have to remember, like, Rockstar built a very solid engine for GTA 4 in 2008, and it is such a solid engine that they never really switched over from it. They've just been upgrading it. That's what Red Dead Redemption 2 runs on, and it's what GTA 6 is going to run on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And every game will try to reach GTA 6 levels for the next 10, 15 years. It will never get there.
And
People are
players will
still
expect
trying to reach. People are still trying to reach GTA 5 levels, dude.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
game.
They can't,
Like
they can't even reach GTA 4 levels. Let's be honest here.
I can't think of any studio off the top of my head other than Rockstar that can work with such limited hardware and push the boundaries so much.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
having
we all
your-
know how they did it by working
Yeah.
working their employees to death and having an literal endless supply of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And money now.
Yeah.
Because remember, they put all
That's
that
true.
money into GTA 5 and Red Dead, and they put literally no money into the remakes of their older games. So
Yeah,
it's,
that's true.
it's pretty
Yeah,
fucking silly.
I forgot about those
It's
even.
probably not a bad thing. I'd rather have all the money going into. I don't know how their publisher works with them, but I'd rather have them putting all the money on GTA 6 now than any other game. So
I agree.
They
I'm
have
just
no
saying if they're
choice.
going to do that, they should just not release other titles.
yeah. But
mean,
I think it was not really up to them. It was up to I forgot the name of the studio that did those ports. Those remasters.
Grove Street
Street.
Games is what
Yeah.
they were called, and I think there is no
Oh,
studio. I
yeah.
think it's just an AI. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think they might be dead now.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened.
and you
I
know
mean,
we're all.
their website's still up, so they're not dead.
No, they're not dead. And you know what?
Yeah,
they're
they're
going to
working.
put out more. They're going to keep doing it because it's a money grab, and I have no doubt in my mind that the definitive edition made money.
Yeah.
I
did,
fucking
yeah.
bought it. Okay, I bought it. I played it for
Like
about
for me,
a half
if
an
I were
hour.
to if I were to remake Postal 4 in the future or Postal 2 with upgraded graphics, I would literally either keep what was there or you remake it from the ground up. You don't use AI to enhance it.
Yeah,
Like,
well, I mean, we're not quite doing a post-mortem on Postal 4 yet, but yeah, if we would have like from the beginning, because we started it a long time ago, boomer shooters weren't really in at that time. We probably would have made it look like that, to be honest with you. We would have made it a spiritual successor to Postal 2 and make it look more like Postal 2, maybe even shittier. You know, we sit in
Yeah, like
this
stylistically shittier.
right. We sit in this fucking like middle ground where we're trying to make the game at least look marginally like it's a modern AA, single A title with bad lighting, and you know, we get endlessly told, why does this look like a PS2 game? Of course,
I mean,
I've heard people say that about Outlaws, and I think Outlaws is
Yeah.
fucking beautiful. So
Oh, it's
I don't
amazing.
know what the
Yeah.
fuck is wrong with
Yeah.
people's eyes.
Well, look
Right.
at the Postal. Oh my God, what's the name of the spin-off of Postal that's really popular right now?
Hatred.
No.
Wait, you mean
a
Postal Brain
game.
Damage?
Oh, brain damage.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
brain
you.
damage.
I just sorry, I had a little brain damage there. But look at that game. Like stylistically,
It's amazing.
Well,
it's
just
amazing.
For the record,
Yeah.
that is exactly what happened, right? Like we're working on Postal 4. Hyperstrange reached out to us about making we had not announced Postal 4 yet. So we were working on it in the background, and Hyperstrange hit us up and was like, "Hey, we want to make the next Postal game." And we were like, "Well, we're already doing that. But we do have an idea of a Postal boomer shooter that would be pretty cool." And they were like, "Well, that's what we make, our boomer shooters, so let's fucking go." And we
Beautiful.
didn't give them much more than an overarching idea, and then we let them sort of design the game, and they did a really good job. And it really is a fucking shit shame that there's no DLC or a second game, but there might be one day. It is not currently
really hope.
happening.
Yeah.
It's not currently happening, but we do want it to happen. So it's not as simple. You know, normal studios, it's like, oh shit, the sequel's already in development before the first one even came out, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's not the way it works with us. So,
Yeah.
There is so
We wish
much
it was.
unused concept arts in that game that looks so dope.
Yeah.
Like enemies and
well,
stuff.
quite frankly, I mean, like, it would be as simple as just making like one or two more, you know, 3-level areas with existing assets, and people would fucking play it. You know what I mean? Like put in maybe 1 or 2 new weapons. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but it might. And a lot of people ask about it every fucking day. We also know that they're not completely absent of bugs. There is some major save issues built into Brain Damage that need to be fixed. But I get messages about it all the time, and I'm like, we didn't make that game. We can't fix it. But there's also save issues with Postal 4. So,
I do have something to say about that.
Oh,
actually.
right. This is the Postal 4 update. Yeah. Go for it.
Because we are actively working on the save states for Postal 4 because over the years it's something that we stupidly neglected. So right now we are in the process of working with our programmers and see exactly what's going wrong and what we can do differently to make save states actually remember everything from the objectives of each errand, from NPCs that were killed, from objects that you've interacted with. Everything should be accounted for. So that's something that we are right now in the process of, and it should cut down a lot of the soft locks people have been getting, because when we test the games, we try to test as many things as we can, us with alongside with the volunteers who have actually helped us a lot with this, but by making sure that we even by testing everything, there will always be an issue with the save states. So by improving the save states, we're hoping that finally pretty much all of those issues will be fixed. It's still in the process. I cannot give you a date.
Just to give people an idea, Unreal doesn't really come with a save system
at all.
At all. It used to. It did used to. I believe the Unreal 937, whatever we were using before Postal 2, did have a save system built in. Unreal 4 did not. And just this is like a basic strategy of how we developed Postal 4. We were trying to sell the game back then. We were trying to get a publisher, as weird as that might sound. And so we were developing systems with the intent of making demos to try to sell the game. And we had to sort of quick rig a save system together, which has evolved, but it's a patchwork of crap that needed to start in a different way, and it didn't. So we are completely rewriting the save system. So at some point soon, there will be a full and complete save system for Postal 4.
We're not giving up on the game just yet.
No. And you'll get it. You'll get it. And I saw another person ask about PS5 updates. Yes, but it's not happening until next year. So just throw away your ideas of a Postal 4 update coming out for PS5 this year. So, and no, there's not going to be improvements to Postal 4 for the PS5 Pro. Sorry about that. What we do want to do is put Postal 4 out for whatever Nintendo's making next. Will it happen? I don't know. But we really would like to do that. Switch 1 was way out of our wheelhouse for what we could have ever thought about. I'm not even sure Switch 2 will be a possibility because we don't officially know everything that's in there yet. But we would like to.
It's going to be on par with a PS4 Pro or like a maybe
we've seen the leaks. So. We've seen the leaks. I don't have anything official, but in our brains, this is a little future hint that of something we desire, not something that's happening. I literally couldn't talk about it if it was happening.
Yeah, I mean, but, if they change their stuff with Germany, then we might
Postal 4 is not a problem in Germany. So
okay,
as of now,
as of now,
Postal 4 is not banned in Germany. Therefore, it would technically still be allowed on Switch in Europe. So, in theory, if we got Postal 4 running on whatever the next Switch is called, I think the leak said Switch 2, but then it would be available in Europe and in North America. So, let us hope that the specs are good enough and that by the time that we are sort of soft locked on Postal 4, we can then pass it off to our console porting team and they can get it running on there. And I think they can, because if it's on par with a PS4 Pro, which I think that's sort of a misnomer, right? Like a PS4 Pro is still old ass technology, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Whatever's in the Switch 2 is not literally old ass
Yeah, no.
technology. It's new
No, it's not,
tech.
yeah.
It's new tech that's
Yeah.
sort of stat wise similar. So theoretically,
Yeah.
it should be better than that.
It,
Yeah,
it
it will
will
be,
be better.
yeah.
That
the old
means-
Switch,
that-
old Switch had the Tegra X1, I think.
Right. So theoretically, we can get it running. Since we have it on PS4,
Yeah.
we could probably have it on Switch too.
Yeah,
I
for
don't
sure.
know what
Yeah.
their game size requirements are. I don't know any of that. So this isn't happening. Please don't take this as it's happening. But
It's
it
a
might.
wish list thing.
It might.
Also, like,
We're not
Postal
writing it
4
off.
Postal 4 wouldn't be where it is today, even on PC, without that Ukraine team like helping us.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
optimizing,
Pushka,
so.
the studio's called Pushka. They have done a really good job of helping us out with optimizations and with backporting certain things. And I believe they're helping us out with a little bit more right now, or they're going to be soon. So they've sort of worked hand in hand with us, not just on console porting. So if you are one of those people that thinks Postal 4 runs much better than it used to, which is a fucking fact, that is a large part because of
Listen, I
Pushka.
have a 4090, and when I first started on this game, it wasn't running so great on even that. So that should say something.
Exactly.
But go back and play the 2019 build, and you'll see the difference. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
a night and day now. Like the game is
is.
completely different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All thanks to Babushka.
Right. So if you're listening to this and you've been holding out on buying Postal 4, just fucking buy it already. Come on. If you're listening to our podcast and you don't own Postal 4, you are a not a fan.
And we have the
Calm
game is
down.
on
They will
sale.
take that shit literally, and then we'll have
No, but-
problems with them. Okay.
All right,
Any-
you're a fan.
you
You're a
can't-
fan.
You're a
Don't take
fan.
everything Mike J says seriously, or myself.
If they're short on money, like you can always. The game is on sale all the time as well. Like,
Literally
games.
all the time. It's on. Actually, might as well say it
Yeah.
right now. It is on sale on PlayStation right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
The sale started yesterday. If you've been holding out buying the PlayStation version of Postal 4 or Brain Damaged, it is on sale right now. Why is Redux not on sale? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Yep.
it is. But we don't control Redux on the PlayStation Store, so I can't set up sales for that.
Do we control the others?
Yes.
Yeah, you got 15% off of Brain Damage right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
so
buy it.
go buy
Just
it.
do it.
I don't think you can buy it for your friends on PlayStation. I don't
I
think
mean,
that's
you
possible.
can give them gift cards.
What you
and
can do is order some Postal 4s for PS4. As you can see, I have quite a few of those left. I have no PS5 copies. Those are gone forever. Limited Run has none left. We have none left. They're gone. So those are officially collector's editions now. I've got those PS4 copies, which, if you want a physical, but you have a PS5, that comes with a free copy for your PS5. So you can still buy a Postal 4 physical from us, and you'll get the PS5 copy in your library. I have a few Postal Reduxes for PS4 left. Not very many. When those are gone, they're gone forever. Switch for Redux, Redux for Switch is gone forever. Yeah, make sure you get this shit if you've been holding out. I get this literally the day after I sold out of PS5 copies. Somebody wrote me and said, "Hey man, when are you going to get more PS5 copies? I've kind of been holding out." And I go, "You just fucked yourself, bud." They're gone.
I got a PS5
Okay.
copy because Daddy Mike thinks I'm
Yeah,
special.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I have a few of them, but they are not for sale. They are our copies because we are proud that our shit's there. Oh, and we are doing a physical Brain Damage deal right now. It should be out before Christmas for PS5 and for Switch. So if you've been holding out on Brain Damaged or you're a collector and you want physical copies, those will be coming before Christmas. It's not through a limited run, so there's not going to be a pre-order. It's through a company called Super Rare. And so soon.
Yeah.
Soon.
But we've got new merch. We've got new merch
Yes. Might
coming.
as well talk about a little merch. Right now, it's not much, but we did put these lanyards up for sale here. See? Cool lanyards. They kind of look like the socks. So if you're a lanyard person, which I guess lots of people are,
Lots of people.
I'm not a lanyard person, but I put my office keys on there, and it does come in handy because when I take them out of my car, I just throw it around my neck instead of like jamming up my pockets with it. And if I'm carrying a bunch of shit, it's much easier to unlock the doors. So we do have these lanyards. We also have a couple new stickers in right now because I know everybody loves our fucking stickers, but Postal Babe sticker and Crotchio's sticker. I know we get requests every fucking day for people that want the cereal box, the 10th anniversary collector's edition, and I'm like, yo, dog, you are really late on wanting the 10th anniversary box. That's going to be 20 years ago in a few years. So if you want
We
that
do
sticker,
have a sticker and a poster.
we do. We
of,
have the displate poster. It's a really
Yeah.
beautiful displate poster. A couple of years ago, I was thinking about making little baby boxes, like almost like those little mini cereal boxes for people to buy as collectors, but we just didn't end up doing it. Sorry.
And we have more. We've got more plushies coming as well.
We do have more plushies coming. More importantly, the brain damage plushies. I know I said they were supposed to come back this week. I don't know where the fuck they are. I'm kind of waiting for some boat from China to hit the port. And what's actually fucked up is I ordered more Redux dolls, and they finished like a week later, and those are going to be delivered tomorrow. So for some reason, the brain damage dolls aren't here. But right now we have Gimp Dude dolls in development and Larry the Crab dolls in development.
Yeah.
We actually just sent back our first comments on the Larry the Crab doll. There was a couple issues with it. So, yeah, probably, let's see, it's September. I'm going to hope they ship by the beginning of November. So we'll have them sometime before Christmas. Please. Please.
Let's hope.
And that's all for merch. I'm going to be making new mouse pads soon, but not the ball ones, just regular rectangle mouse pads. Those are coming. We're going to have new body pillowcase art for the Postal 2 dude. It's not the same one we had. This one's made by our in-house 2D artist, Andy. So if you are a body pillow person, we're going to have some new body pillowcases soon.
Or an Andy fan. Maybe you're a fan of Andy.
Maybe you're a fan of Andy, yeah. I mean, we know there's a song written about him called All Day I Dream About Andy. So clearly people are fans. And just before we switch out of Postal stuff, we are not making Postal Dough merch ever. Stop asking.
Ever.
Okay. And
Unless,
red or
of
gold.
course, you know.
It's a red Larry. Larry is red. We didn't make gold Larry dolls. Okay. That's just a Postal 4 collectible. Larry the Crab is a character, bitch.
But people really like Postal, though.
All right. Enough talk about Postal.
Wait, do we have more vinyl stuff?
God, I'm a fucking idiot. Yes. Brain damaged vinyls are about to ship to me from Poland. This has been an ongoing problem for months and months and months and months. There is a fucking pallet of them sitting at Hyperstrange, but shipping a pallet of things out of Poland is a fucking nightmare. So I'm going to have brain damaged vinyls very soon, hopefully within 2 weeks. So we're going to be selling those on the store. And the Postal 2 original soundtrack is in development right now. We've finalized the art. They're going to press on it. So that's coming on vinyl, on CD digipack like the Redux one, and cassette tape. We're going to have cassette tape original soundtracks for Postal Redux and for Postal 2. Not for Brain Damaged.
No VHS.
Unfortunately. Yeah, unfortunately, the Brain Damaged stuff was done by Hyperstrange, so I don't really have the ability to make CDs and cassettes. Although I guess I could potentially look into doing it. But yeah, that's the end of merch. We're done talking about Postal. We're literally at 30 minutes right now, and we haven't even gotten to the first topic. So, first topic, please. A video game patent lawyer breaks down Nintendo's risky Pal World lawsuit. Definitely feels like a punishment. I don't know a lot about this, but it looks fucking weird.
The weirdest fact is that we know how Nintendo operates, but the weirdest thing is that they created that patent months after Power World came out. So
It was in March, I think.
yeah, and I understand they want to protect their IP, but like Power World is doing what people want Pokemon to be, like that they wish Nintendo would do. So it's about they just need Game Freak or whatever studio is gonna be working on the next Pokemon game to just emulate what Power World did, like because the game is great and that's it was one of the top selling games of the year on like period. So
Yeah.
yeah, it feels a little bit like dishonest, and I don't know that they would file a lawsuit way after the game comes out and suddenly come striking. So
Yeah, I mean, I think they're just afraid because, they know that um they're not what they used to be. They're now there's a lot of competition out there. You have even even a new game that kind of mimics the Pokemon trading card game where you even own a shop and you
oh
open
yeah,
booster packs and see. So it's clear that they had like something really good, but then when it came to executing it these days,
yeah,
they decided,
they
to
have an
just
amazing
focus on the
IP.
wrong things,
They have the
and
great
they no
IP. They
longer
just
innovated. Yeah,
yeah,
they're no
and
longer innovated, and people are like, we're kind of tired of that, and we're also kind of tired of having to buy a console specifically just for this. So let's go to the alternatives, and the alternatives you have are plentiful these days. You got a lot of monster collector games. You have Nexomon, you have Pal World, of course. You got all these alternatives that people are starting to turn to because the guys at Pokemon Company, they don't know what they're doing anymore.
yeah, and
So they're now afraid, and now they're trying to protect their patent because they have nothing else to do. They are a little bit clueless on what made the games good, what made them. It's the innovation.
yeah, like the for me the last Pokemon game that really innovated was Pokemon Go, and I was not made by Game Freak. And I remember when that game came out, everyone like jumped on it, and it's still huge in Japan, like Pokemon Go, like it's huge. But I think Game Freak, they just need to take their time and do something more. I hope that with the new Switch, they're gonna try to push the boundaries. Like I don't know, but people just want like a dope 3D Pokemon game with better graphics, better more things to do, and they have a really good IP. They just need to do something new. So,
Yeah.
but so it feels weird that Nintendo will like come striking after months that Power World came out. So,
Because Power World millions,
and Power World has
millions,
guns
and guns. Like
yeah,
they probably thought about having Pikachu with a fucking minigun or something, but they didn't.
yeah,
Of course, they didn't.
yeah.
Pika
But
Pika.
can you imagine just
I mean,
shooting everybody?
the guns were not necessary, but like many people want guns in their games. So
Yeah,
I get it.
it's just a nice combination that really was needed after so much bullshit from the Pokemon games. They
Yeah,
just want good alternatives.
yeah,
Yeah, well, I mean, we've seen other big companies like Nintendo suing out there these days, so it's a little fucked up. It's a little fucked up, but what are you gonna do? I mean, you make something that's kind of like something else, you just might get sued.
yeah.
Hell,
But
we had to
but
we had to threaten a company because they were using our fucking audio, but that's a little different. Did we ever talk about that on the podcast?
no.
I don't think we talked about that.
We
no.
were notified by someone on Reddit actually that this mobile game called Mafia City was using our audio, so we had to sort of be like, "Hey guys, that's ours. Stop using it."
It happens to me all the time, and I actually had a Chinese company use one of my reload videos, which had like it was just sloppily thrown in there, but they actually responded and took it down.
Yeah,
Which
yeah. So
is
did these guys.
Such a
which
rare occasion.
I expected
But
no response, to be honest with you.
in this
Same.
case, they specifically had like some lines of the Postal dude from Postal 2 and some lines from Mike
Yeah.
also from Postal 2. So
Yeah.
we're like, fuck's sake, can you guys just, take that shit down?
Like, hey guys,
that's not
just
yours.
so you know,
Can you just not?
this is stuff from our game, including my own voice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Your likeness.
I would love to be in your game, but you just got to let me know, maybe pay me. Something
Yeah.
like that, a few shekels here and there. Ubisoft, crawling back to Steam. Big fucking surprise, huh? you're probably
Look-
still gonna
look
have
who
to
comes
log.
back.
You're probably still gonna have to log into fucking whatever their service is called, right?
Ubisoft Connect.
Yeah, you connect. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you will. I know that shit
The f-
pisses people
The
off.
thing is, especially I mean, people manage to find workarounds now. I know that the new God of War Ragnarok came out on PC 3 or 4 days ago, and the next day someone already had a mod that bypasses the PlayStation Network connection.
Well, that
required.
was 2 topics ahead, Matt.
Oh,
but
shit.
all right, we'll cover it right now. Yeah, I understand. It's fucked up. Like when I don't play PC games much anymore. Like I play on my PlayStation, and it is wicked fucking annoying when I go to boot up a game like Outlaws, because that's what I'm currently playing. And the first thing I have to do is figure out what the fuck my Uconnect login is. And I mean, I guess I like the idea of it because in theory, if I play the game on PC, my save should carry over.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
But that's not totally true because I started, I mean, it just might not be on older stuff, but I started Watch Dogs Legion on PC, and then I switched over to PlayStation, and it did not bring my save over.
Yeah.
And then when you read the fine print, it said that it would only carry your saves from PS4 to PS5, not cross-platform.
It's fucked up.
I just
But
missed
yeah,
when I
like-
double clicked on a game and it started.
But yeah, like some people say, oh, you just have to press a shortcut. No, you have to deal with third-party policies that you might not agree with if you're using, Steam, for example. With Steam, you have your refunds, you have all the stuff as it should be, or as you perceive as it should be. But then if you have like a third-party launcher on top of another launcher, you have to deal with their bullshit. For example, there are some games that you buy with one account for that specific launcher, and then you forget about it, you get another account. You cannot just merge things. They don't do that because fuck knows why.
I mean,
So
Steam
you have to
lets
deal
you
with all that
boot, Steam
bullshit.
lets you boot games out of other launchers, right? Like, as long as you have an executable on the desktop, you can add it to your Steam library, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's always been like that.
Yeah.
I kind of wish though, like even for other games, like if sometime you buy a game on Epic or like Uconnect or whatever, and then a year later they release it to Steam. Just give me a key for the Steam one. Like I bought your game.
Well, we do that usually.
I know, yeah.
but that's
I mean, if
us.
somebody says to me, "Hey, I bought Postal 4 on PlayStation, and I'd really rather play it on my PC," I usually will just give them a key as long as they prove to me that they own it and they've played it. We've always historically sold our physicals with a Steam and a GOG key. But if you own the game on PC and you want to play it on your PlayStation, I cannot give you a key. So, sorry, that's the wrong way. But yeah,
But yeah, like it's that thing, like other companies don't do that, but since indie companies are usually just a bunch of gamers who deal with this bullshit all the time, then we understand like your point of view because we also deal with that shit. So I mean, it is what it is. We just give a shit about you guys because we are just like you guys.
yep, we just some gamers over here.
Just some gamers.
DRDR, Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. Doctor, is
It's
that what they're
good.
calling it? Is it called Doctor?
Doctor, give me the news.
Capcom asks which of its series you want to get that treatment next.
Of the record, Resident Evil 1 remake was great. So, and they're doing so much money. So, of course, people were a little bit worried at first. I remember talking with Pedro many times about this when they showed the Dead Rising. It's not a remake; it's a remaster, but it takes remastering really far in that case, where they've remade almost everything. They just kept the animation, and that's pretty much it. They voiced characters that were not voiced. Remade the graphics, everything. It's not on the level of those Resident Evil remakes they've been doing, but it's good. We keep some of the old stuff and we get some new stuff. So it's not like I think they don't want to piss people off, and they spend less time on making those games. So I wouldn't mind if they do the same thing for the second game. So
I wish we had that. I wish we
is
had
the
that kind of
stream-
money.
Is the
Yep.
stream lagging for anyone at the moment? Because it was lagging just now.
It was for me too. It was telling me my connection was
But
unstable.
it's fine now, right?
Yeah, now
Okay,
it's
it's back
fine.
up.
I'm good now. Yeah.
I still see
So-
green in OBS, so I don't know.
It's fine.
So yeah, like I personally like the RDR.
It's great. Yeah.
What I don't like is, you know, the creative liberties they've taken.
Frank's
uh,
hairline.
Like the censorship, the obvious censorship. Like nobody can convince me that's not censorship. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it
We-
is. Yeah.
It is censorship.
There's
Uh,
literally
I
nothing you can do about that stuff nowadays. And I've talked about this at length. If we remake Postal 2, if it happens, and we put the game on PlayStation, it will 1,000% be censored. And that's not our call. It's not our call.
Yeah.
I've actually already talked to them about it because we need to know. And the answer is it would be censored. It wouldn't be a lot, but it would be the first fucking mission of the game. So
Yeah.
it would be noticeable by
It's-
literally anybody that's ever played the game.
Yeah.
It's what I've always said. Like it's up to the customer to change the landscape by voting with your wallets, by voicing your opinions. Like really voice your opinions. Like some people are like, "Oh, I'm tired of, you know, the culture wars and that stuff." But I mean, it's just going to get worse unless people don't voice their opinions, unless people don't voice their concerns. So naturally, you do have to continue because the developers they just to survive they just have to make games, and if we cannot sell on certain storefronts, then we're just gonna go down in business. Okay, that's just how it works.
Yeah,
we hate
but
censorship.
for me, if I'm looking at it, you know, from 500-foot view, like I'm a gamer. I would like to play Postal 2 on my PlayStation 5. Is Habib and his wives not being in the game enough to make me not play the game?
I would understand if it would be enough for you to not play the game. I would understand. I would understand both sides, honestly, because you know
Yeah.
it's the essence of the game. It's the game that people were, you know, playing in the past.
Then play that game. I mean, that's
yeah,
if,
I mean,
if you are remaking a game, you are not remaking the time that it was released. And quite frankly, at the time it was released, our shit still wasn't okay. Okay?
Yeah.
Just so we're
Yeah.
clear, even though making a funny Apu voice and giving him terrorist wives was hilarious, and I still think it's low-key hilarious, doesn't mean it was okay by the general population. Okay? Postal 2 didn't really come out in 2003. It just did. Okay, it has stood the test of time. For some reason, Steam doesn't actually give a shit what we make, and we've had it up there ad nauseum for the last 20 years.
yeah. I mean, as much as people say that Postal 4 is very watered down, it still got banned on some countries. Okay?
Yes,
it
of
still
course.
got banned. Like
It still has plenty of fucking
you know,
racial jokes and social justice warrior jokes. Like they're all
it's just-
there.
it's just the fucked up, you know, industry that we're in, the position where we're at right now, where even something as tame as people say, it's still getting banned, it's still getting censored. Like Postal 4 is censored on PlayStation.
Not
You
much.
cannot
Not much.
not
but it
much.
is.
Not much, but
For
it
some,
is.
for some reason, Sony had no problem with the suicide button in Postal Redux.
But they have it with Postal 4.
I do wonder though, like because we didn't submit that, it was MD Games that did that. I wonder if they just didn't say anything.
I think the criteria just changes from employee to employee because
Yeah, well, like anything else, right? It's the same with
yeah,
immigration,
exactly.
right? Like if you're
I'm pretty sure
submitting
the
an
next guy
immigration-
would say it's fine.
Yeah, if you're submitting an immigration application, it depends on who picks up the paperwork, right? So
Yeah.
whoever answers the question at Sony decides what will and what won't fly. And for a bigger company, odds are you make the game as it is and you submit it. And if
Yeah.
they say this has to come out, you spend more assets taking it out. A company like us, if we're about to commit God knows how much money into something, which we're not doing, just to be clear, we're talking
Yeah.
about this like if it was a potential to happen. We have to get clearance, 100% clearance. I have to get a literal sign off before I can spend a single dollar remaking a game or putting something on PlayStation, right? Like when we were going to do Postal 4 for PlayStation 4 and 5, we had to know that it was going to come out and that we weren't going to have to spend another $100, $200, $300,000 modifying the game. You know what they and they were pretty good about it. Really, all they said was it would be great if you took out the suicide button. Gamers can kill themselves in the game 100 different ways. If you could just take out the instant version of it. And we said, okay. And there was a box that said, Mike J, do the Jew. That had to come out.
I understand
It was a great joke, for fuck's sake. I love that.
I know.
Like, I got so upset when I saw that. Like, it's the small
Pedro
things
actually
that...
never played Postal 4 on PlayStation because he is protesting Sony's decision to remove the shoebox.
I was about to say, for fuck's sake, I had to test it on PlayStation 4.
I wasn't
where it took
being
forever
real,
to load
Pedro. I was just saying you said you understand why little babies won't play an updated game because it's too woke for them now because the landscape of the world has changed.
Yeah. For me, like, I understand why they made those changes in the DRDR. I'm glad the original game is still playable. If they removed the original and kept the new one, it would have been really annoying because it's still good that we have the option to go back, right? So
yeah,
they're not forcing people to buy the new one and removing the one from the shelf.
That's the one thing I will give Capcom and Konami, for example, because they still have the originals. They're not listed. So if people don't like the new shit, they can just buy and play the old stuff.
Well, and actually on that topic, let's go back to our theoretical. If we remake Postal 2 and it has to be censored on PlayStation, that does not mean it would be censored on Steam.
Yep.
Okay. I'm not saying we're doing it because we are literally not doing it. We do not have the money for this project. So this is just theoreticals, but we wouldn't modify it for Steam. We wouldn't do it. So okay, enough of that topic. We already talked about the fourth topic. So we're going to move on to our first segment, which is this week's Fantastic Fucking Fan Art.
Fart. Fantastic fucking fan art. Brought to you by Mike J's Bidets. A clean ass is a happy ass.
This week's Fantastic Fucking Fan Art is brought to you by VThick on Twitter with his Postal Wrapped GT7. If only that were real.
Yeah, this is by the way, the game is GT7, Gran Turismo 7. I think that, I really like when people use their creativity to make RWS or Postal Team stuff in other games. This is something that I'm not sure if we ever showcased something like this before in this segment, but I thought it was really cool. Like this car looks beautiful. Like
I thought the last photo was real the first time I saw this.
Yeah, it looks really good. You can even see like in the last photo, you can see like the Mike J's Bidets thing.
Yeah,
it's kind of like a bumper sticker there. It looks really cool.
That's pretty cool. Old Mike J's Bidets logo.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like if anybody wants to hit up this guy, he might hook you up with a a download link or something for this wrap. So hey, I mean, tell him, ask him for a download.
Should I get my Tesla wrapped with that?
Oh yeah, especially because
should I make my Tesla look extra douchey?
The Tesla needs to at least look decent.
I did see a wrapped Tesla on Reddit this morning with the Trump arm up and boy, people are fucking dumb. I wouldn't wrap my shit with anything, even my own company. That is low-key ridiculous.
I have a running with scissors like sticker on my bumper, and that's it.
Yeah, a little running with scissors sticker's fine. I used to have the window decal on one of my old cars, but currently I got nothing other than a license plate that says Postal, PO5TAL. So
that's pretty sick.
Yeah. If you want your art to be showcased on the podcast ever, make sure you post it onto Twitter. That's Twitter, TWITTER. It is part of our lexicon. We use it in everyday sentences. It is not called X. I will never call it that. Don't call it that. I don't care what people call it. It's fucking Twitter. So make sure you post your fan art on Twitter and use the hashtag RWSArt. And it wouldn't hurt if you tagged us in your post at RWS Studios. Skyrim grandma, Shirley Curry, is hanging up her gauntlets and retiring from making video games. Who
I
is
think
she?
she should
Yeah.
have trained. She's the
I've seen
most
her.
famous elderly YouTuber, I think, on YouTube. She made tons of videos on Skyrim, like very chill videos, like almost ASMR. Like it was pretty good actually. I'm
She stumbled
surprised.
into something really unique.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know who
Well,
she
she was
is.
no longer having fun with it, so I mean, it's more
Relatable.
than understandable if you don't have much more time, to live in this world, so you don't really want to do stuff that you don't like, and people just have to appreciate the fact that she did it, like you don't see very often, really.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was really cool. It was really cool, and we wish her the best. And it's really cool as well that she's immortalized in the next Elder Scrolls game. That's
Oh yeah,
awesome.
yeah. She
That's
will be.
just
She will be
awesome.
in the next Elder Scrolls games. Yeah,
Yeah.
she went to the studio. She went to Bethesda. So
Yeah, she has
that's
like
pretty cool.
a
That's pretty dope.
actual character model. I'm not sure if it's
Yeah.
also voiced, but at least she does have the model, which
That would be sick. Yeah, that's sick.
That'd be so cool to
That's
be in a
awesome.
video game.
yeah, right.
Imagine. Yeah.
All I got was a Gary's mod played character.
Yeah, I've been in a few video games. Sorry, boys.
But
That's okay.
yeah, I mean, right now it's not so common to have elderly people making tons of videos on a game. I mean, she was making on especially on Skyrim, but in the future, I imagine it will be much more common to have older gamers making videos online. So
Well, I'm gonna be playing games till I'm dead, so
yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully GTA 6 is
Yeah.
gonna be easy.
I'm just talking back with somebody in the chat. They're asking my thoughts on the Postal 3 soundtrack, and I said it's fine. For those that are wondering why it's not up on streaming services, we literally can't. I've tried. I've uploaded it. We have renamed all the tracks to what they're named on the OST. Those are not their real names. I don't know what to do. And streaming services, when you upload a song that's already been uploaded somewhere else, it cannot have a different name or author. And clearly, some of the tracks that were on there that were done by that band in Russia have been put on streaming services because it keeps having verification problems. And I've tried multiple times going back and forth with them, and it's just not working. Actually, today I got a letter from TuneCore threatening to take our OSTs down because they claim we are royalty farming. They're acting like we are like using AI or a server farm to just stream our music nonstop to make money. What the fuck? We don't make that much money off our streaming shit. What the fuck are they even saying? I don't know. I have to write back and be like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I mean, it all sounds BS. Why would somebody admit it if they were doing that? But we're definitely not doing that. So unless there's like a gang of Postal fans that are just listening to a few songs on repeat over and over and over, which
might
is
be
entirely possible, it's not us.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody asked, would you happen to know if a guy on the RWS live chat was talking about the live chat being a plugin?
Oh, for fuck's sake. You
I
remember
did
that?
respond to somebody about that. It is a plugin. If you don't know what a plugin is, I'm not going to fucking teach you what a plugin is, okay? Okay, next topic.
oh goodness.
Resident Evil. Sony reportedly had talks for a new movie.
Oh,
I
boy.
guess the Resident Evil movies weren't the worst things on earth.
They were not. And yeah. I mean, it depends what they do with it. I watched both the live actions and animated, like CGI ones, and they have good things about them. They have bad things about them. They are not the worst movies, but if they have the money to put someone good, like to do something well, for me, I would just readapt. I wouldn't reinvent the wheel. I would just adapt one of the games, put them in order, like. And then you can, if you have solid actors, it gives you an opportunity to bring them back each movie, like a cool, like Leon and all that. So
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, and Resident Evil 9 is gonna be announced soon. So
It should be interesting. We'll see.
I wish we were further along in Postal. I wish we were at Postal 7 already.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
mean, by now it will be kind
When
of like
is one of
Final
us going to
Fantasy.
hit the lotto and fund us?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so sick of you not winning the lotto, Carl, and not funding us.
I'm waiting for Remedy to make the next Postal game.
Ooh. It's not a lake, it's a river of piss.
Mike, I did win I won the lottery, but I won the worthless like content from a financial perspective lottery.
Right. Yeah. Well, how about you go win the actual lottery when it's close to a bill, and then you can buy us on the cheap, like 100 million, just like a tenth of what you want, no big deal. And but you're silent partner, you don't tell us what to do. And then we make everything we've been talking about.
Yep.
Okay, I'll get started. There's a gas station just down the road.
Just got to start
First, we
work
need to
harder.
make a new movie.
Buy more lotto tickets. The odds go up. Not much.
Well,
but
if
they
I
do
buy
go up.
more Postal stuff, then it could give you guys money.
Well, if you could actually influence your millions of subscribers on TikTok, if you could actually just get like 50% of them to buy our game right now.
Okay. Here's how I'll do it. Brain rot. All right, you got to communicate in the language that these young whippersnappers.
What you do is you make a reload video, but it keeps having little subliminal flashes in it. Like the old ads before movies. And then every, as long as your vid gets, I don't know, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20 million views, some of those people are going to go buy Postal.
Hey guys, today we're going to talk about the technical aspects of buy Postal.
Yeah.
The technical aspects.
I think you should make something like that, like We're Taking Over. You should make it kind of horror-ish. You should make it like Sam Lake is directing it.
It's like something I can't escape. Like I look in the corner of my room and suddenly there's a Postal poster
No,
that I
it's
don't even
me.
remember getting.
It's me with strings over your head, and I'm controlling you, and you're like, buy Postal now. I think that would work. I think it would work pretty good. Someone needs to hit up Joe Rogan. I agree. Dude's talked about Postal multiple times on his podcast. I think they need to have me on.
I mean,
I agree.
That would be sick.
I didn't even know he talked about it.
He has multiple times. And not like he's some like hardcore Postal fan, but he likes to talk about the word Postal and how it's sort of gone from American lexicon at this point. And then he has gone on to say that there was even a video game called Postal. And he's done this multiple times. I don't think he even knows we still exist. And if somebody were to actually bring that to his attention, maybe he'd want to dig in deeper and find out more about us. What we need for him to do is to see the documentary when it comes out. We need to somehow make sure he knows that we're still around and we're still doing this. So
I might try to get us like a big streamer, like or YouTuber, like to play the game.
I know quite a few people. I know Soup. I know a lot of people who'd be down for it.
Because I remember talking on stream with Moist Critical Charlie about maybe streaming Postal 4. And he's huge, so that would be sick. So. Yeah.
I mean, look, we're just having a little marketing meeting live in front of all these fans right now. So, yes, I agree.
Welcome, yes.
Joe Rogan is an idiot. I will say that. That doesn't mean I don't want to go on his show and talk to him.
Yep.
I'd love to. I'd love for him to call me an idiot because I'm probably an idiot.
I have an
to
idea.
him.
Maybe
I would like to hear you both scream at each other.
Maybe
for an
we
hour.
should sue the Black Eyed Peas for playing Postal in their video.
They
music
paid
video.
us. There's a contract.
Maybe we should hire them again.
That's right.
Yeah.
We'll hire the Black Eyed Peas to be in Postal this time
Yeah,
for the same amount of money they gave us.
No, they should make a new music video, but this time they are playing Postal 4 and Brain Damaged.
Yeah, and it's just Fergie doing it topless.
Yeah.
On OnlyFans. Ubisoft is planning to make The Crew 2 and The Crew Motorfest playable offline. What?
Yep.
Good.
Yeah.
Because that's look, I'm gonna give credit to that petition from Ross, the Stop Killing Video Games, because that petition probably pushed these companies start thinking, okay, maybe it's not a good idea to have single player games online only. Maybe, just maybe, people will get mad and won't buy our future shit because of it. Because we fucked them over not once, not twice, but as many times as possible. So
it's hard with these people. I agree inherently that this shit needs to be offline. The
yeah,
problem where we fall into, and we get this a lot, and I don't like pointing out things that we get yelled at about, but we really only sell Steam installers with our physicals, which does kind of irk some people. I mean, yeah, you can play offline, but you couldn't get a Postal 4 or Brain Damaged or a Fudge Pack and install it on a air-gapped computer. It wouldn't work.
Yeah.
It needs to install Steam, and you need to log into Steam, and it needs to verify the Steam key. Once it's installed, you can put it in offline mode and air gap it. You could do that. But
you can also back up since it's DRM free.
I understand what you're saying, but it still needs to be installed. The files on the disk are not non-Steam files. So
yeah.
Yeah.
But of course, in the very unlikely event of Steam going down, we would still provide options, as would Valve also provide options.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they promise.
Right. Yeah. When Gaben sells the company to Ubisoft.
That hurts.
I think Pedro just got a hernia thinking about that. Horizon Zero Dawn PS5 remaster is official. When did this game come out?
6 or 7 years ago. A while.
They're making a remaster of a 6-year-old game.
Yeah. That's what everybody was thinking when they announced it.
Remember Last of Us? It got remade many times, and it was like 3 or 4 years between each game.
Yeah, I'm just not surprised, honestly. I mean,
but to be honest, what they showed looks really good. Like because the graphics of it's done in a good way. Like they re-recorded and tons of dialogue and expanded on the dialogue, like tons, like hours of dialogue, and they brought it on par with the second game. Like what they did with The Last of Us. They brought Last of Us 1 on par with the graphics of the second game.
It's not worth $10. It's not worth $10.
I mean, for me, like I didn't buy the game yet, so I would probably just buy the new one instead. Like instead of getting the older one on sale. Because I know it's a great game, but and they're gonna do the same thing with Days Gone. I can already tell you.
Days Gone. All right, let's move along. Cool comment, bro, coming up right now.
Cool comment, bro.
This week's cool comment, bro, is Dice Bite on Twitter. You are probably the best at gaming company out there. Not English, but although there are other companies I love for making games, I love, you are probably the nicest of them, and you recognize your community and interact with it, which is ironic considering you make Postal of all things. He's right.
But actually, I kind of understand what he means, because when I was growing up and I heard talking with people and voice chat on Discord, many fans, they think we are some kind of like goblin in a basement, like smoking cigars and like not showering and stuff. We are like because like they think the game, we are like our game, like 1-to-1. We are like, you see like in Postal 2, in the company, like the game company is like this little basement where all the devs work in. They think we are like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Well, also, we've never had an office that big. And I mean, I literally, I get asked all the time, why is your address an Allstate office? And it's like, because we literally have an office inside of an Allstate. Like, Running with Scissors is a remote studio. It has been since 2009. I used to rent an office in a legal office. And 2 years ago, I moved into an Allstate closer to my house. It's just, I rent a big room in the back. This is just an office for me and Vince to work at and for me to send our merch out, but everybody works at home. That doesn't mean we should or shouldn't be any more available to talk to people, but we just are. I mean, It's not just you
Even-
guys. Like, I write other companies in the industry and I don't hear back. Okay. And I'm not like begging them for games or, saying let's collab. I'm like, hey, loved your shit. Just wanted to let you know that everybody at Running with Scissors loved your shit. And I don't hear back. So, yeah, I get it. So, yeah, you're welcome. I mean, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you
We
for
appreciate
your
it.
kind
It
words.
keeps us going.
And you're welcome for us being available for you guys all the time. Sometimes being available ends up being a little bit much. I definitely get bombarded with people writing me every day at all hours of the day
About plugins.
about everything, man. And I'm happy to chat when I have free time, which I have. But that doesn't mean I'm free to just sit and talk to anybody all the time. So if I'm not responding to you, don't get mad. I will at some point. If all you send me is forward me funny videos on TikTok and stuff, I'm not going to watch them. So stop doing that. I'm not your share funny videos on TikTok friend.
You'd be surprised how much time me and Pedro spend time on Discord answering people's questions and talking to them like in voice chat all the time. And it's nice.
All week.
And it's nice. Actually, most of the time it's nice. We meet a lot of good people.
I don't.
Sometimes people are a little bit.
I was talking to somebody
starstruck
yesterday, and they were like, "Hey, can I call you?" And I was like, "No."
No.
Yeah, because this is a community that's very easy to work with. There's a lot of communities that they're just not good. Okay, this is a good community, and they just make our jobs easier sometimes. And when they send us either support or even criticism about our games, as long as they are as long as they're just not saying "I want you to die." We're fine with that, I've received some of those.
Yeah, we get those too. We get that.
We get those, but we mostly get positive, comments, or we also get some legit criticism about our games, which we always appreciate.
Yeah. And
So,
by the way, if you want
love
to
that.
be featured on Cool Comment Bro, make sure you leave a cool comment. Doesn't matter where, Reddit, Discord, Twitter, TikTok, any one of those. We could highlight it. We might not, but we could. So, real quick, just to blow through our last few topics, I guess there was a Half-Life beta from 1998 found. Is that another leak?
Yeah.
Just a few months before the release.
It's a guy who went to he had a garage or a locker, and when he was digging through it, he found a CD with the beta on it, and then he decided to just publish it online for everyone to play it.
Cool.
It's such a historic game that people still to this day find new stuff, even though this specific one is just a few months prior to release. It's still pretty cool because you can still find some minor details, and people are going to dig in and see what's different. And I always think those things are really cool. These companies usually are like, oh shit, they found that that beta. But if somebody ever finds a Postal 2 beta, please let us know.
Yeah, we don't have it.
Would like to see
we don't have that either. I get asked about that E3 demo all the time. We don't have it.
We
I
wish
see this
we
kind of
had it.
thing even with Postal 4. When I tell people what the game could be or could have been, people are so intrigued. They're like, why did you decide to why would you cut this? Why would you not add this? I'm like, that's the nature of game development. You have an idea of what it's gonna be, but it's impossible to stick 100% to the plan. Things change all the time.
We get asked that all the time. What did you guys cut from Postal 2? And I'm like, I don't fucking remember.
Players don't players just don't have a concept of scope within game development.
So I made some assets for the game, and they took years to be integrated, and some of them may never be integrated. Some of them were directly. You never know.
I've worked on games. I've worked on games where some of my shit got cut, and I was fucking pissed, man. Bastards.
Sorry, Carl.
Happens.
Just
resell the model online.
We're way over time. So last topic was the Meta event yesterday. And new Quest 3S announced. Quest 3 512 gig is now $500. That's a good price.
Yep, that's really good price.
We're all VR fans here. We get asked about Postal 2 VR all the time. I think it's only possible if there's just more headsets out there. So if you guys ever want that to happen, just make sure there's got to be a bigger user base, and maybe one day you'll get to P in VR.
But that new headset for $299 is very attractive.
Yeah,
like a very attractive price.
Yes,
it's
exactly.
Good. Yeah.
And that, I mean, obviously, that would be the goal, right? To have a game like Postal 2 playable on the Quest, and who knows? Who knows what the future holds? But yeah, that's our episode for today. We got way over time. Thank you, Carl, for not picking up your kids right in the middle of this. Thank you, Matt, for staying awake until fucking 5 in the morning. Thank you, Pedro, for having that broccoli on your hair in the middle of this podcast. And thanks to everybody who watched this live. We will see you in hopefully 2 weeks, but probably more like a month. So, bye.
Bye.
Remakes.